What if the key to your deepest creativity and healthiest life isn't working harder, but actually pressing pause? For years, our culture has glorified hustle and productivity. But what if genuine fruitfulness comes from learning to rest deeply? Today, I want to share something that has quietly transformed our lives and work: a yearly mini sabbatical. Not a vacation, not a retreat, but a spacious, intentional pause that lets us reconnect with what matters most for the sake of the life and legacy that we are truly called to live. I'm just a few days away from our annual mini sabbatical, and we've borrowed this idea from a few other friends in spiritual formation. It's proving to be a wonderful pattern for us every summer. Some people hear about our yearly mini sabbatical and they wish us well. They see the importance of it. Others question how it's even possible and whether it's wise to take that much time off. I'll be honest, I was nervous at first, but now that we've done this for a few years in a row, I am convinced now more than ever that you don't always have to be in production mode to be most effective. An understandable question emerges here. How can I engage rest in the middle of so many important tasks? A sabbatical in the midst of good and fruitful work actually tests my belief in what unhurried living teaches all the way down to my core. In my previous Rhythm of Life video, I mentioned Ruth Haley Barton's book, Sacred Rhythms. And here are 5 questions she offers that can help us out here. How do I want to live so I can be who I want to be? How has God uniquely designed me? What do I really want? How badly do I want it? And am I willing to rearrange my life for what my heart most wants? So I'd like to engage 2 of these questions together. First one is this: how do I want to live so I can be who I want to be? Now, I desire to be the best version of myself, and I'm sure you do too. I'd like to be as close to my true self as possible. So, do I do this perfectly? Absolutely not. But engaging this question requires effort. If I want my true self to be expressed, what will that take? Certainly, I can't lead an organization called Unhurried Living while at the same time running myself ragged, succumbing to the siren call of ambition, and ignoring my emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. Well, when you say it like that, of course it sounds obvious, and it is. But believing this to be true and doing something about it are 2 different things. Downshifting for 4 weeks in a row actually allows my mind, heart, and my body to enter into a different mode. Choosing something other than the hum and rev and culture is like swimming against the current. Allowing for this much space and time to focus on family, friends, play, and rest is so good for my soul. My body gets to remember what it feels like to actually power down. This helps me during the rest of the year to have muscle memory for that deep inner sense of rest. Now, remember, we have not always lived like this. We now run our own organization, and we are in a very high choice season of life, second half of life. We get to call the shots, and we intend to choose as wisely as we possibly can with the time we have left. Now, you're hearing me say we. Of course, if you don't know, my husband, Alan, and I are partners here at Unhurried Living, and it's the organization that we founded many years ago. So when I'm saying we, I'm talking about both of us because we're both taking this sabbatical. But let's move back into this conversation. You know, trees in an orchard do not produce fruit all year long. And any good farmer or gardener knows that a tree needs to winter. It also needs to be pruned or it won't produce a quality product. It's the same with our bodies and our souls. We are not meant to run 24/7. Our mini sabbatical is a way of tending the gardens of our souls so that we can be creative and abundant in other seasons of work. Here's question number 2. Am I willing to rearrange my life for what my heart most wants? Well, again, Alan and I have decided to make essential changes to our weeks, months, and years so that we can be the healthiest and most sustainable versions of ourselves. This is one of the first acts of a spiritual leader, to lead their own soul. And this means we make time for important spiritual practices as well as good and fruitful work. And we sometimes say no to amazing opportunities rather than force something from an empty cup. We arrange our year so that we are ahead of the game. We stay ahead of schedule so that when our mini sabbatical comes around, all of our regular work is done. And if you didn't know we were gone, you wouldn't notice because all of our YouTube videos, emails, blog posts, and podcasts are still going to appear as usual. We also have to ensure that our large projects are at an appropriate pausing point at just the right time. We did all the work of 12 months in 11 months so that we could take the extended rest time. I rearrange my life so that I can make space for what I truly want, an extended time to downshift and replenish. We don't overwhelm ourselves. People often assume we are quite busy, but I don't like to use that word actually. I would say my life is full, but not overwhelming. I've discerned what I'm able to accomplish, and I stay within that so as not to get on the road to burnout. We simply make enough space to create our content and do our work. It takes effort and focus, but the payoff is worth it. Well, you might be wondering to yourself, what are they doing on their sabbatical then anyway? Well, we actually allow ourselves the flexibility to choose all of our activities based on this list here. Here's the categories: rest, play, relationships, reading, prayer, unplugging, beauty, and refilling. Now, the sky is the limit within these. Of course, there's even more words we could use, but you get the idea. We typically enjoy a family vacation. Alan might also schedule a silent retreat where he goes off and acts like a hermit for a week. He loves that. And while he's doing that, I might go and spend a week with friends having soulful, wonderful conversations somewhere beautiful. We don't always travel that much, but we can do what we want to do. Mostly, we love nature, we walk, we bike, we are with people, but it's all wrapped up in this basic word: rest. Right? And here's what we don't do. We don't email, we don't do social media, we don't engage any of our work, we don't talk about work. It's tempting sometimes because ideas start coming up once you're sort of downshifting, and that's fine if we have to say something we do, or maybe I have to journal about it just to get out of my head so I don't forget. But all things being equal, we don't engage work. We just allow it to lay fallow for a while and hoping that that means it's going to aim at eventual renewal. So, to wrap this up, let me say this. One huge reason we take care of ourselves this way is actually because of you. All of you who track with us in any way, via our weekly emails, on social media, our podcast listeners, and our YouTube watchers. You are our beloved extended community, even if we don't know you personally. We are connected in this wonderful online way. So we want to model what we teach. We desire to give you the best of what we learn and receive from God. We want to remain creative and energetic as we create content and events that will serve you as you serve others. I say this often to those I meet with or train. You are not a machine. You're more like a flower or a tree. You're organic and you require nurturing. And this is true for us as well. We treat our bodies and souls as the living things they are. And I desire to share with you the best of who I am and what I know. And that includes a rhythm of life that keeps me fresh in an ongoing way. So here, as always, I've got your 3 action steps here in case you want to follow up on anything I'm talking about. So do one of these things. Reflect on your current rhythms. Set aside a few minutes to ask yourself Ruth Haley Barton's questions, right? How do I want to live so I can be who I want to be? And am I willing to rearrange my life for what my heart most wants? Second, you could identify, we're calling it ours a mini sabbatical. What if you had a micro sabbatical? If a month sounds impossible, start small. Block off a morning or an afternoon or even an hour and just step away from everything. Put your phone down, walk out your door, get somewhere beautiful, take some deep breaths, power down. Number 3, plan ahead for renewal. Look ahead in your calendar and make some space. If you can't walk out your door right this second, that's fine. You can plan for it. Make some space for rest before life demands it. Consider what needs to shift at work or at home so your soul can catch up with your schedule. Taking intentional time for rest is not a luxury. It's a wise and ancient practice for everyone who wants to live with more focus, presence, and care. As you experiment with your own mini or micro sabbatical, remember, you're not a machine, right? You're like an oak tree. Give yourself permission to pause, refill, and return with new energy for the seasons ahead. And as always, blessings to you as you make your way. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. And click the notification bell so you'll know when we drop any new content. I love connecting with intentional people just like you.